Before we do the birthday thing, I'd like to say again, thanks Sonny for living this long so I could go up behind him to have his birthday parties with him. I wasn't here last year, but I plan to be here the next 25 or 30 years with him because I was in Germany last year. But I want to tell him that thanks for being my friend. Not only that he plays my records on the album, that's one thing, but being a friend to me is the most valuable thing to me. To all of you, you probably say, well, why is Barbara Ray so in love with this part of the town, this part of the state, and what have you? I was born in Homer, Louisiana. My dad was a traveling preacher from Mississippi. So the man can get that news. And I went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where I lived for many years. My dad had pastored a church there for 50 years in one church, 45 in another in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So I'm part of you. Then I moved to Chicago, now I'm back in Mississippi. So between Bill Luckett and myself, we Ruzy. But I said that because I'm a part of it. Thank you all for letting me be part of this. I don't know what happened, but Bubba, bless your heart, man. Everybody just taking me in. I'm a part of, I'm like a piece of furniture to this investment. And it just won't go away. I want to thank all of you. Everybody had anything to do with that. And Sonny was a part of that. Give him another hand. Sonny asked me, he said, Bobby Ray, why do you keep singing the blues? Because your woman left you. I said, Sonny, yes. You can have the blues when your woman leaves you, but you can have the blues if you stay too long. This for Sonny. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed up love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed up love? Out of all the men my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. If I ever get my woman to come back, Sonny, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back, Sonny Payne, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. When my garbage can get full, I'm gonna take it down way, way out in the Sonny Payne woods. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, young Sonny. Happy birthday to you. Don't ask him, how old are you? 35. Old are you? How old are you, Sonny? This ain't funny. 90 years old. I'm so happy you let me have this moment because we laugh and joke and we love you, but ain't nothing funny about 90. It's a blessing. Thank God for Sonny and the time. One more time. Someone said we're going to toast, but I don't see anything to toast. We got to let.
They're supposed to be bringing that champagne. I'll go get it myself.
Before we toast, I gotta tell you this.
about Bobby Rush. I forgot to tell you about it. You know, he grew up on a farm, on these, you know, where you had to get the water out of the lake.
I mean, like, really good.
Remember that? I remember. And so his father, excuse me, his father was in the mill, and his father said, I want you to go out to the lake and get a bucket of water. Your dad will be home. He's going to be thirsty. It was hot. It was summertime. So Bobby went down, and oh my God, he come running back to his mother's. She says, where's the water, boy? Your daddy be home. So Mom was an alligator down there. And that lake, yes sir. I'm scared of that alligator, Mom. Said, you go on down there and get that water. Well, I'm scared of that alligator, he's going to eat me up. He says, let me tell you something. That alligator is scared of you as of him. He says, that alligator scared me as I is of him at 8:53.
It's certainly a pleasure to toast my elders. We're glad to be here today, Sonny, and for everybody at the radio station. We thank you for everything, keeping us straight, 8 days a week, keeping everything going, and we just hope you'll keep on. And to Sonny Payne, I'd like to propose the first toast. Many more happy years.
so lucky to get to be here with you today, and every time I'm with you, because I love you, Sonny Payne.
Your husband's out there and I'd like to live a while.
I'm not scared of him, are you?
No, I'm not, but no, not really. I really believe you never know. You're playing a lot of gigs lately, and I have 3 of your CDs, and you know I couldn't find the one. I think you had something to do with this. You hit the others because she wrote a song here. Oh, I forgot, she's a heck of a songwriter, and we'll play it for you in a moment. But are you doing a lot of gigs lately?
Well, I've slacked off a little bit, and it's the holidays, so I'm trying not to be too busy right now. But as always, I have to make a living, so yeah, I'm out there playing.
Well, you can do that, and you got your old man cooking for you, man. You don't need a bass player on some of these gigs, because that's when you call me sometimes.
That's right, exactly.
No offense.
Because we know you're the best bass player ever.
You get odds on that, this, her husband, ooh, he's awesome, really. It's so good to have you on board. Why, I have to play this because she insists on it. Why did you write this thing?
Are you talking about the song I wrote about you?
What else?
Because I'm in love with you, Sonny Payne. From the first time I ever saw you and met you.
Sure,
And
it's
you
getting
make,
deeper out there.
well, you make me so happy. You just make me happy. And I appreciate you. And as far as I know, nobody else has ever written a song about you. So I just felt like I had to, it was my duty.
Well, as we say in this part of the country, it's well white of you. I appreciate that. We'll play that song. I'm not overly fond of it. Yes, I am, but I hope you like it. Reba Russell right here.
There you go.
Sonny Payne, Sonny Payne, sunshine, sunny patches. Sonny Payne, Sonny Payne, sunshine, sunny Payne.
that Reba Russell and whatever that was. Fest too.
I'm sorry?
You wrote that during the festival.
Yeah.
She wrote it down on some paper or something, and I really got embarrassed on the stage. I was bringing somebody on, I forgot who it was, and she pops up with this song. And that'll make you turn red in the face when you don't know what's going on.
Well, admittedly, I had had a cocktail or two when the idea struck me, but it was like a lightning bolt, and I thought it turned out mighty nice.
You offered me one and you drank instead. I know you. You got an engagement coming up soon, and she still lives in Oakland, Tennessee, with basically her husband, Wayne. And what's your next gig?
Well, actually, I don't have any, so to speak, public gigs until January. I'm kind of taking the rest of the holiday season off.
Most of them do here in our South, I understand, especially Christmas and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, everything.
So I'm blessed to be able to do that. I'm real happy I can do that.
So good to have you aboard, and thank you so much for your contribution to music, period, blues or otherwise. You do it all.
Thank you. From you, that's just music to my ears.
Thank you so much. How about that? Reba Russell. We got a song. Bobby Rush, right here. A little tight money.
Not far from your way. I tell my mama, said, pack up, we're gonna leave here soon we can. I'm just a little bit boy, y'all. By a little fire. Didn't know too young to realize. But I found out, he didn't get later, what it was all about. It was too much work about a little money, said what my dad didn't talk about. Type money.
And now to our next show, this is Sunshine Sonny Payne inviting you to tune in to Keep Listening Time each Monday through Friday for your favorite blues song.
There is so much hugging and kissing going on here today, I can hardly believe it. This is so exciting, and we appreciate so much all of you being here today. We're celebrating Sonny Payne, Mr. Sunshine himself. He's catching up. We are going to start with the Honorable Jay Hollowell here, and he's going to be our MC for today. And we hope that all of you have a program. Do all of you have a program here? Pamela Davis Needham is going to be passing out the programs if you need one. I'm LaRonscape Ray, and I grew up here in Helena, Arkansas. I was born right up here on the hill, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee now. And the Cecil Scape Visionary Award is named in honor of my dad, and he was a true visionary. And he grew up in a house in the middle of a cotton field near Barton, Arkansas. And when he passed away, my sweet husband Richard took me back to that little house, and I took all of the wood that was left. There was a tree growing up through the kitchen. But I took all of that wood back to Tennessee with me, and Richard had a little cottage built for me on our farm where I live now. And so I have Arkansas all around me. I have Delta dirt under the cottage, and I have Delta dirt on my daddy's grave. So y'all are special to me. I know y'all, most of you have never heard of me or met me, but y'all are dear to my heart. This place is dear to my heart. Bubba Sullivan knew me back when I was a baby. I mean, we were both babies. And Sonny Payne and my dad worked together at KFFA Radio. So there's bios in your program. I want to be sure that all of you look at the screen that Leon from here at KFFA, who's videotaping this and taking photos, put together for us is some of the past recipients of the Cecil Skate Visionary Award. So when you're getting your food back here, please be sure and look at those photos and then through the years with Sunshine Sonny Payne. So if there's nothing else, I would like for Jay to come up and get us started. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey, Ron, it's my pleasure. I mean, when I look out here today and see all of these friends of Sonny's and friends of Helena's, and I've got to tell one story on Sonny. He is the oldest, and I think Mr. Jim Howe told me this story, which I knew it was the truth. But he is the oldest altar boy of St. Mary's Catholic Church. He has served many a good service there and kept a lot of priests straight, I can tell you that too. So it's my pleasure again, as I said, to welcome you all here. He's awfully special, not to just, to all of us, and really special to me. And even my son sends greetings to you, Sonny. Tripp worked at the radio station years and years ago when he was about 9th grade, I guess. I had to drive him out to the radio station, but Sonny he and that. No, you were in the 9th grade, no way. But Tripp had a great time learning and listening to Sonny back in those days. So they told us to keep it brief, and in fact, I didn't even realize I was emceeing tonight. But anyway, no problem on that one. But I dare have a dear friend with me, my counterpart from across the river, Mayor Bill Luckett. Bill's going to come and speak a little bit, and we welcome him to come to Helena. We have got a sister city relationship that we're working on and trying to work for the benefits of both of our communities and together. So this time, Bill, you come up.
Well, thank you, Mayor Hollowell, and to my friends here. We're building more and more relationships between us Clarksdalians and you Helenian West Helenians. I was pleased to meet Helen. She says her name's always written as Dear Helena now because she's the Chief of Staff of Mayor Hollowell. But I've enjoyed coming to Helena since I could drive a vehicle, which back in the day was when you were 15 years old. One of my first loves I danced with over here at the American Legion or the VFW, one that had the old jet out front. And I still remember the good times I've had all these years. When I was elected mayor in July of 13, I thought it was high time, and I think Marilyn Traynor pushed in the right direction a bit too, and had such wonderful friends here over the years with Joe and Bernadette and a lot of you out there in this audience, and I don't want to start trying to name all of you, but I see you. What about a sister city relationship? After all, there are two deltas separated by a river that's one of the major commercial paths in America. I've been going to some conferences about the river. In fact, we have a contingency of Mississippi River mayors in Paris right now during the global warming conference, looking at crops and transportation issues, big global issues. This river is a global concern, actually. So when I think Delta now, I don't think just the Mississippi Delta. I think two deltas. We're going to have some sister city activities coming up. We've been planning on them, and they won't be long in the offing. And we plan to make sure we bring a bunch of Clarksdalians to Helena and see what a good time y'all have and what you have to offer. And Jay has promised me to reciprocate in that fashion. I offered him a ride tonight in our police car in our Christmas parade, but he said he already had a police car and couldn't make it. Now, he's going to serve y'all well going over to Northwest Arkansas on some mayoral functions there. But we're going to keep trying to build this relationship. And Sonny, KFFA, there's a sign in here somewhere that's got not only Helena on it, but it's got Clarksdale on it. It may be right on that wall or right over here.
Oh, right there.
There it is, right there. Yeah.
That's you spit.
Live feed going off Rocks Radio, WROX, and Sonny just broke a record held by Early Wright for many years. Early Wright was the longest continuous black disc jockey in America. Sonny's got the longest running radio show as a disc jockey in America. So we're setting some records down here in these two deltas. So I wanted to mention that at least Clarksdale's in the mix up here. I did a little research on Sonny and I found out he was born in 1925. I used to lie in bed thinking about how old my grandmama is. If you counted in fives, I'd count my age, I'd go 5, 10. And for her, I'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, you get it. We got to go all the way up to 18 fives to reach Sunshine Payne right now. I've been on his show a few times, and you know, he runs a pretty tight ship. You don't get just right at the microphone, you are cajoled. He said I was late going to work every day. He's probably right. I try to be late, but I'm usually fairly punctual. And he said I only show up over here when it's payday. Reminded me of a little poem I can tell you right quick about the Delta, Sonny. This was gratuity. This was written on a stall wall in the men's room at Ground Zero Blues Club, and I've adopted it as my own, even though the author is and will remain anonymous. I don't know who wrote it. It says the Mississippi Delta. We'll call it the Miss Arkla Delta, where cotton is king, corn liquor is queen. Every night is Saturday night. Every day is payday. 2 vacations a year, 6 months apiece. The richest land, it did say the poorest people, but I said the greatest people. So thank you for letting me be part of this celebration today.
Thank you, Mayor. As you can see, why I have such fondness for the mayor across the river here. He really is a great ambassador for his community, but he also loves Helena too. So we're really pleased to have him with us today. You know, it's really a pleasure for me. Sonny's giving me a high sign. That to introduce the next speaker. We know we have a legend here, and the next person is right in that category as well, knows so much about the blues. I'm not going to say he knows as much as Sonny, but he's real close, and that's Mr. Bubba Sullivan. So Bubba, if you would come up and...
Well, I'm just thankful that Ron asked me to be a part of this. You know, they have all this stuff in school now. They got computers, they got all iPhones or little tablets. What I remember about a tablet when I was in the 1st grade, that's what you wrote your name on. But it's all different now. But Mr. Cecil Scape, her father, had a vision, and I hope every young kid in the world has that vision. Because, you know, when I was growing up, they had Sacred Heart Academy here, and they had the Catholic Club. And Elvis Presley played here, Johnny Cash played here, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, you know, all the guys that Mr. Cecil Scape and Son records with Mr. Sam Phillips hired him, you know, and so it's just all the things he's done, and now he's doing a scholarship in Sonny Payne's name. I think if he was here, he would be so happy. And you know, it's just, but all you people that have children, there's a vision. You don't have to be very smart. I mean, you don't have to have a great education. I was at a deal at the Entertainers Hall of Fame, and they had Wayne Jackson, who's a horn player for the Memphis Horns. And when he got up to accept his speech, he told a story. He said, look, I was the worst student in school ever. He said, I probably would have quit school. The band director got a hold of me in about the 8th grade, bought me a trumpet. I mean, my dad bought me a trumpet, and he said, what I tell every young kid, that not everybody can be a scientist, but pick out what you like in this world. And he said, I was a musician, played on 50 gold records, and just barely graduated high school. And I think Mr. Cecil Scape had a great vision for what he's doing, and I appreciate LaRon. You know, it's the first time it's been done outside of Nashville. And before I sit down, I've got to say something about Sonny Payne. One year we had John Kennedy Jr. here at the festival. So they had a restaurant called Ducks by the Levee down here, and so Sonny would always take a break from the stage, you know, and go with his wife, Miss Jo, excuse me, and go eat. So Sonny said he was coming out of the restaurant. This young man walked up to him and said, Mr. Payne, so I need you to sign my book. And he had a book there, and Sonny said, thought to himself, and he said, okay. And he said, how do you want me to sign it? He said, John Kennedy Jr. Sonny Payne said, he looked at him and said, yeah, and I'm the damn Pope too, you know. so then on Monday, Sonny called me after he saw the thing in the paper, a picture of John Kennedy Jr., but, you know, Sonny might not have known who John Kennedy Jr. was, but John Kennedy Jr. knew who Sunshine Sonny was.
Well, that's a good story on that altar, boy. That's all I can say. So, at this time, Lauren's going to come back up, and she's got a proclamation that she wants to share with us today.
One of America's greatest friends in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill is Congressman Marsha Blackburn. And she has really fought the fight. She represents the area near Nashville, just outside of Nashville. And she's really gone to D.C. and fought the fight for the intellectual property. So the people who write and people who create get something out of what they do. It's not just out there for free. And it's a very, very important fight that needs to be done. Her door is always open to the creative community. And she knows of Sonny Payne, she respects him, she regards him, and she wanted me to, first I just spoke with her 20 minutes ago, and she wanted me to wish you happy, happy birthday. So she has a proclamation that she has written. Mr. Speaker, because they do this on the House floor, I'm honored to recognize an exceptional leader in the field of radio and broadcast journalism, Sunshine Sonny Payne, who has led a career with a reputation for hard work and determination. And then it goes on to say lots of other really goody things about you that I'm going to let you read in private. And then the other thing that she did for us is that on your actual birthday, which was Sunday, she had an American flag flown over the U.S. Capitol. So we have this proclamation. And the certificate that shows the flag was flown over the U.S. Capitol on your birthday, your 90th birthday. So I'm going to leave all of this, and you can let the Delta Cultural Center put it in their cases if that's what you choose to do. And that way you can share it with other people. Would you like to come say something?
No.
Okay. Did you just want to hug me?
Behave.
They're all good looking. I don't know what's going on. Nothing wrong. I would like to say one thing. I don't know what the hell to say. I mean, you know, something like this doesn't happen to us people in this business very often. And some of the people that are behind this, you folks don't ever have the honor of meeting. And if you'll permit me to, I want to recognize one of the all-time greats. He was manager of Muddy Waters and so many others. Mr. Dick Waterman over here. How about that? And one other fellow that always wanted me to introduce him when he came on stage. When he was a little boy, he stole my marbles at school. And he tries to sing, but when he says, I'm going to do number 3 song, he really means number 8 song. Or, yeah, really. And the producers of the recordings in the studio, they get screwed up. Are you going to sing number 8? That's what I just told you. And he winds up singing number 5. Well, fortunately, he did manage to get this other CD off. And last year, I'm going to be at your birthday party. He never showed up. And he's always late. But I'll tell you one thing. You'll never meet a better blues artist in the world. By the way, let me remind you this. He got voted number 1 this year. Number 1 blues. Bobby Rush. And I'd like to thank my nieces boss for signing my checks. He does. Oh, he does. But anyway, thank you so much, because in Helena, I was born and raised here, and our people here are the greatest in the world. That's my opinion.
Yes,
I
we are.
love it. And thank you so very much. I appreciate that, really do. Thank you.
Well, I tell you, I'm just not fast enough for Sonny. Just a few minutes ago, he pulled me aside and he said, now, I've got several people here I want you to be sure and recognize. And I didn't do it quick enough, so he got out and did it himself. So. But anyway, that's just Sonny. So, I think, actually, Sonny, you did tell me one more. And I see Reba back there. She's back hiding in the corner. But another great friend of Helena and blues artist that we love. And her husband is here as well. And yes, Wayne. And so they're back here. Be sure and recognize them and thank them for
I got so excited. My private girlfriend.
Private girlfriend. Okay. We'll just keep that secret between all of us. How about that? Okay. It's my pleasure this time, and I saw him back there. Our Lieutenant Governor, Tim Griffin. And Tim, if you would want to come forward. We're really pleased to have you with us today. Yeah, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, appreciate you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. So, appreciate it. Well, thank y'all so much. This is a great honor that I can be a part of this today. And I have to confess, I stopped by Jones Barbecue on the way. Mariana had 3 sandwiches. Bought all the barbecue. Everybody was coming to the door to get some. They said it's closed, we're sold out. That was my confession for the day. But it is such an honor to be here. I worked really hard when I was in Congress with Marshall Blackburn, with Mark Herberson and others over in Nashville, trying to protect the rights of artists so that their stuff basically is not stolen. It's a huge problem. But let me tell you, Sonny is part of the reason why Helena and this part of Arkansas is so rich. And you may not always hear it put that way, but this is a very rich town. It's a very rich part of Arkansas. And it's because of people like Sonny. And it is what makes Arkansas so unique and interesting. When you have people from, I think there's somebody back here who's standing by me from Australia or somewhere. When you have people coming from around the world, that ought to tell you something. They're not coming here to see something they've got. They're coming here because of the richness and uniqueness of the history and the culture and the gift that this town and the folks from this town and this region have given, not just to the region, not just to this country, but to the whole world. And I am a big believer in this part of the state, and that we've got to tell this story. We've got to continue to tell this story. I know that it's not always an easy path for you on the front lines who are working on it, but it's a story worth telling, and it's a story that people want to hear more about, whether it be more the history side, whether it be more the musical side. I mean, it's a tapestry. All of that stuff is interwoven together. You can't separate it. It's all the food. Ooh, the food. I mean, and that's really what it's all about. Ultimately, without food, what do we have?
You got us all thrilled when we talk about Jones Barbecue.
But in any event, I mean, I'm just so honored to be here. And I think that you can count me in as a friend of what you're doing. You can call me. I will do whatever I can to help. And, you know, I'll come over just to get a picture with people like Sonny. I mean, you've made such an impact. So Thank you for all that you've done to make Arkansas and this town and this region and the world richer. Because it starts here. It starts right here. And that's a story that is worth telling, and we've got to continue to tell. And just count me in as someone who will be glad to help in any way that I can. And Sonny, when you're 120, I want to be back here. I want to be back here for that one. If I'm still living, but thank you for all you've done and for what you've done to make this an interesting and amazing place. Thank you, Sonny.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. We really appreciate you being here with us and helping us to honor Sonny today. At this time, I think that Luana and the Lieutenant Governor have a presentation for Sonny.
It says no minutes, ma'am.
You better ask permission, sir. I would highly recommend it. This is the award, the actual Visionary Award. And even though my dad came out of the cotton field here in the Delta, he was a snappy dresser, let me tell you. And his signature was black and white with just a little bit of red. And when he died, I actually had the marble located that was black and white marble or granite with just a little vein of red in it. So I got up and I thought, I'm going to wear my blue because I'm going to the Delta Blues. And then I thought, no, it'll blend in with this gorgeous trophy, this beautiful award. Every year we've given this award, you'll notice in the pictures, it's black and clear because it was in honor of my dad. This year, we wanted it to look blue for the Blues, and I think it flows like the Mississippi River. So this is the award that we have changed for the first time ever. It's always been clear and black because of our special Delta Blues sweetheart. So if the Lieutenant Governor would come over. And we're going to make this presentation to you. Where do y'all want us to stand so that we can get a good picture? Is this better? Guys, this way? Why don't y'all all just come right here, we'll pose. We'll act like it was impromptu. All right, ready? And Bill Luckett. We're gonna pose this. We're gonna get.
There you go, perfect.
Mr. Luckett right there. Are we good? Bubba, would you stand next to me?
Come on.
Good? All right, we're gonna all go left to the first camera, and then we're gonna work everybody's camera to the right, okay? We all good? First camera over here, Sonny. Next. Third. Richard, is he come over here and shoot from there? Because I'll look bigger if he's over here. Okay. I want to get Ryan Rusher. His bestie.
I'm at home.
Look at you two. Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to hold it. It is heavy, isn't it? All right, thank you. All right. You are so welcome. Now, what we would like to do now is we're going to have birthday cake. And Paula, where is Paula and Katie, who've been so wonderful from here at the Delta Cultural Center? They are going to bring in some little champagne. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But we have a little champagne toast, and we're going to be serving birthday cake. Where's the
Here again, down on it. And Katie, you go sit. All right.
Got your card, thank you. Yes, sir. Better get my good side.
with our